Hello and welcome back to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel, where of course we're giving you all the latest news, views and opinions on all things Albion. We're back again today, and I suppose kicking off the season of match previews, where of course throughout the coming campaign we'll have match preview for every single Albion game. But yeah, let's start off the Championship season. We'll be talking about West Bromwich Albion versus Middlesbrough today, which kicks off at 5:30 at the Riverside Stadium on Saturday evening. Yeah, the Championship opener for both sides, two pretty strong sides heading into the second tier campaign as well. So yeah, plenty to look forward to in this game. I'm not sure that this one will be good for nerves for Albion fans. It's a very difficult start to the season, to be honest, but we'll be chatting through all of the information about this game. We'll be talking about Middlesbrough, giving you a bit of an opposition report. We'll also be hearing from Jonny from the Boro Breakdown podcast, Middlesbrough podcast, who's going to come in and give us his thoughts ahead of the game. And of course, we'll be taking a look through Albion's predicted lineup and whatnot, and giving just general thoughts ahead of the match, and of course a score prediction at the end. But before we crack on, I'd love to hear your score predictions in the comments section below, and I'd love to see you subscribing to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel for more content like this. So let's crack on. Let's talk West Bromwich Albion versus Middlesbrough. You're watching the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. For match previews, match day vlogs, match reactions and more, make sure to subscribe to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. So let's start off with the opposition. Middlesbrough, of course, the home side for this Championship opener for both teams. Finished 7th in the EFL Championship last season. And yeah, I suppose narrowly missed out on those playoff spots. They finished 7th, but in position numbers is obviously one place below the playoffs, but 5 points below it as well. I think it was widely concerned that Chris Wilder, when he came in, was going to be able to take them into the playoffs and didn't quite manage that. But they did have a great FA Cup run as well. I think that's something that you can really cherish as a fan, and I think a lot of Middlesbrough fans did, beating the likes of Manchester United, Tottenham along the way. So yeah, they got to the quarterfinals and lost to Chelsea eventually, but they were very good in that FA Cup run. And yeah, I think Middlesbrough, they're a really strong prospect this season. I can see them finishing in the top two personally myself. Yeah, I just think under Chris Wilder, I think they do have a very thin squad at this moment in time. However, I do think that once they get going and once they start bringing in some loans and some other transfers towards the end of the window, I think I can see them finishing in that top two personally. Of course, managed by Chris Wilder, former managerial candidate of Albion's, if you like. We went for Valérien Ismaël instead, of course. I remember, he really did out-tactic Bruce in the last game between the two sides, 2-1 to Middlesbrough at the Riverside. I think that was back in February during Steve Bruce's sort of first few games as Albion manager. That was where we scored our first goal under Steve Bruce, as Jason Mulumby scored. A bit of a deflection goal, but yeah, we opened the scoring there, and I think the two goals that followed late on for Middlesbrough came both from wide areas, and yeah, we really struggled to cope with their kind of overlaps, and yeah, that for me was where Bruce kind of failed a little bit with how he failed to sort of react to that, but they managed to get the win against Albion last time out. They drew back in November. That was Neil Warnock's last game, and seemingly his last game in football management as well, which I was there for as well. I think a lot of you guys will have been as well. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the new signings. They have got a few new signings coming in who've come in. Marcus Tavernier is, of course, a bit of a doubt for Saturday because, of course, he's been in negotiations with Bournemouth about moving to them for a fee of about £12 million by the looks of things. So, yeah, interesting to see if he sticks around and see if he makes an appearance on Saturday, but I highly doubt it because that deal is seemingly in some pretty advanced stages. However, new signings for them, they've got Darragh Lenihan for free from Blackburn. Of course, that was a player that Steve Bruce was quite keen on to bolster his centre-back options. Ryan Giles on loan from Wolves. Of course, did a very good job for Cardiff. Not so good for Blackburn towards the end of last season as he took 2 loan spells in the Championship, but definitely for Cardiff, he was a real creator for them. I think he got something like 8 or 9 assists. So yeah, I can definitely see him working out in Chris Wilder's system, getting down that channel and whipping those crosses in. Zach Steffen on loan from Manchester City. That sort of solves and bridges a bit of a gap in goal for Middlesbrough, who last season struggled with the goalkeeping situation with Joe Lumley and Luke Daniels in there. It's not really a decent set of Championship goalkeepers. But Zach Steffen, of course, he did make a few mistakes for Man City when he did play, but looks a decent option in goal. Tommy Smith for free from Stoke as well. Another wing back to come in and kind of supplement those positions is another really good move. So yeah, here's a predicted 11 for Middlesbrough. In goal, Zach Steffen. Back three of Antoine Dishdale and Darragh Lenihan alongside Dale Fry as well. Wing backs, Isaiah Jones, of course, a really, really big prospect in the Championship. Of course, got that room to flourish down the right-hand side. And yeah, I suppose obviously Middlesbrough just let go of Jed Spence to Tottenham, but now they've already had Isaiah Jones in there, who I think a lot of Middlesbrough fans would prefer, if I dare say that. Matt Crooks, Jonny Howson, and Riley McGree as a midfield three. That rhymes. Ryan Giles out on the left-hand side, and a front two. I think it's Duncan Watmore, and I'm struggling to pick another striker because I think they are really threadbare. But Marcus Force is coming in for Middlesbrough over the next coming days from Brentford, so maybe he could start, but I think that's still come a little bit too soon for him, so I'm not sure what will happen in that striking position. I'm sure Wilder will figure something out. He has been playing Riley McGree up front in friendlies, just behind Duncan Watmore, but yeah, of course, we'll see what happens with them and how they get on. And yeah, that's sort of my predicted lineup for them, barring any last-minute injuries or suspensions that might happen. But yeah, let's hear from Jonny from the Boro Breakdown podcast, who's here to give his insight ahead of the game. Take it away, Jonny.
Hello guys, Jonny here from the Boro Breakdown podcast. I'm here to give you a preview and a prediction on Middlesbrough and West Brom's game on Saturday at the Riverside. So I want to give you a bit of an overview on Middlesbrough so far. We've currently got 14 outfield players at the moment with 3 goalkeepers, and Marcus Tavernier is going to go to Bournemouth for a fee around £12 million, which will leave us a little bit light on the ground come Saturday. We are expecting Marcus Force to come in from Brentford, who is going to help bolster our attacking lines, but we do need more strikers definitely, because we need about 3 to come in. We also need some cover all around the pitch now to try and bolster our numbers up for the season. But saying that, we did look really, really good against Marseille on last Friday. The combination play, the players look a lot fitter than they did the previous season. We've got a really good manager in Chris Wilder, so I do expect us to be in and around the playoffs and promotion places come the end of the season. And if there's players to watch, Riley McGree stands out for me, and he is probably taking Tav's place on the left-hand side of midfield in that central position. He's a wonderful talent, really wonderful talent. I'm ready to give my heart and soul to Riley McGree this season. I think that highly of him. Really good at picking up really good positions, good on the ball, will help us create chances, and is very fluid in his play. And I'm very, very excited to see what he can bring this season. Also, Isaiah Jones and Ryan Giles giving us that balance on the wings and causing teams problems this year. We just need a striker to put away the chances that they create this season. For West Brom, you've done very, very well in the transfer window so far. I feel like you're building a really, really good and strong squad. You've built on, which was already a good squad anyway coming in last season, but I felt like it was just a bit mismanaged and it just wasn't fit. The styles didn't really fit what you had as a term of players. And bringing in Steve Bruce into the equation, I don't think he's probably going to get the best out of it either, to be honest. And hopefully that doesn't offend a couple of West Brom fans, but I feel like there should be a manager that fits the style of the players that he's trying to bring in. And I think John Swift is a wonderful talent, but he'd probably be better getting managed by someone else. But who knows? Steve Bruce could absolutely pull my pants down and have an unbelievable season this year. But in terms of our predictions, I'm going to go 1-1 draw. It's going to be a difficult game for both sides. This could be a perfect side for West Brom to players. Hopefully we can get some players on the line. But yeah, 1-1 for me, and I might even take a sneaky win as well. But cheers, guys. Thanks for having me on. Take care.
So those were the thoughts of Jonny from the Boro Breakdown podcast. Make sure to go and give them a listen. Their links will be in the description, and check Jonny out on Twitter as well. Yeah, of course, interesting to hear his thoughts on Bruce. He seems to think that maybe Albion's players would be sort of better off with a different manager, and I think that could be a fair comment. I think the start that we had under him, and the way he eventually kind of got us ticking. Yeah, it's a difficult situation to be in really for Bruce. I think he finds himself in a lot of pressure really now to get us promoted with the players he's bought in. He's got some pretty high wage budget now with the likes of the signings that we've bought in. I think that's going to kind of if he does well with them, of course I think he's expected to do well with them. So yeah, interesting to see. Jonny predicted a 1-1 draw. We'll be doing our score predictions towards the end of the video as well. So yeah, keep involved for that one. Yeah, finished 10th in the Championship last season. Albion 8 points off the playoffs, the worst season for 22 years. I think, yeah, it was just a really difficult slog, and I think we just need to be positive ahead of the new campaign. I think it's always needed as you head into a new campaign, but of course, more than ever with Albion, I know there's a real need to get promoted. I think Albion still, if you don't get promoted this season, I think you still look a strong outfit next season with the players that you've got. Of course, Bruce won promotion 4 times. Can he do it once more to make it a 5th time? He's done some great business over the summer. But I'm still a little, like Jonny, I think I'm a little in doubt about sort of it's more tactics for me. I think, I look at the Middlesbrough game last season, a prime example where he didn't adapt, didn't change, and eventually they stuffed 2 goals past us before we'd even had a chance to lift a finger, and I think that's worrying for me, and I think that's where Bruce comes under a little bit of fire. But I'm still willing to keep that positivity, and I'm, give him the chance. He's got his own players in, he's got a better group of players, got better personality in there. I look at the starting 11 that we've got now that I predicted, and I look at the characters in there, and there are a lot more characters than I expected of last season. Jed Wallace, new signing, of course, for free from Millwall. John Swift for free from Reading. Okay, Kuzlu, free from Celta Vigo. Kuzlu is probably unlikely to be available for this one, but maybe we could see him off the bench, perhaps. Hopefully seeing him come on and hopefully seeing him strut his stuff maybe in the Championship for the first time. But here's my predicted 11 for Albion. You'll see it pop up on this side of the screen, I think, anyway. David Button in goal, Darnell Furlong at right back, Dara O'Shea and Shemi Ajayi as 2 centre-backs, Connor Townsend left back, Jason Malumbi and Alex Mowat alongside each other in midfield, John Swift just ahead in that number 10 role, Grady Diangana on the left. I've seen a lot of people saying that Phillips should start because of his defensive qualities, because Isaiah Jones, of course, is such a big threat down there. But I think Diangana, you've got to cause them problems as well. You can't... Yeah, I don't think you can sit there and think about, the opposition might do this. And I think Diangana's form in pre-season, I know it's only pre-season, but has warranted that place. He's worked hard over the summer, and I want to see us pushing Middlesbrough back rather than letting them come onto us and just dealing with it defensively. I want to see us providing a bit of a threat ourselves. And I know we've got Wallace as well on that right-hand side, Swift in the middle, but I think you have to have the threat yourselves, and I think you have to be able to try and push those attacking threats backwards and make them double up on Diangana, really. Daryl DK, of course, up front. I think that'll be a good way to start off his account if he can get a goal. Of course, only making his 3rd Championship appearance for Albion despite signing in January. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I'm a little bit nervous towards it myself, but of course, always positivity going into it. And yeah, hopefully we can get a nice win to start off the season. But my score prediction, I'd probably agree with Jonny with a 1-1 draw. So yeah, I'll say 1-1 as well. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult game. And yeah, look forward to hearing your thoughts and predictions in the comments. Make sure you drop them in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. And thank you very much for watching this match preview. And I'll see you in the next one.